Jess Thurby, my kids tell me who they want me to choose. It will lead to some interesting conversation. There were more than a few quizzical looks aimed in the direction of Jess Thirlby when, at the age of 26, she decided to finish playing netball with the aim of becoming a coach. She had been an England international for the past 6 years and had just won the inaugural Netball Superleague title with Team Bath. A lot of people were saying I was crazy, she said. Even now, people ask if I miss playing. But I've been absorbed in coaching ever since, and by making that call earlier, I probably got 4 or 5 years ahead of some of my peers. I have absolutely no regrets, apart from the fact I'm not quite as fit as I should be. 16 years on, the wisdom of that decision seems clear as Thirlby, now the England head coach, prepares to lead her side into a seminal year for the sport. After victory at the Commonwealth Games in Australia in 2018 gave netball a huge boost, courtesy of a last-gasp goal against the host nation scored by Housby, the defense of that title on home soil in Birmingham later this year presents a huge opportunity to sell the game to a wider audience. The preparations step up a level over the next 5 days with the quad series at the Copper Box Arena against Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, as 4 of the world's 5 top-ranked nations aim to lay down a marker for the Commonwealth Games in July and August. In the opening match on Saturday afternoon, England, ranked 3rd, faced South Africa, ranked 5th, the side they beat to finish 3rd in the World Cup bronze medal match in 2019. After recent series victories over New Zealand and Jamaica, Thirlby's side are aiming to maintain the momentum they have been building. Thirlby, 42, became the Vitality Roses head coach after the 2019 World Cup, succeeding Tracy Neville, who had led the side to that Commonwealth gold. Like Neville, sister of the former Manchester United players, Gary and Phil, Thirlby hails from footballing stock. Her father, Chris Garland, was a striker who played for Chelsea and Leicester City in the 1970s, and spent 2 long spells with Bristol City. I was born towards the end of his career, so I never really saw him play, Thirlby said. But when I was working as a radiographer in Bristol hospitals, the patients would always be asking if I was his daughter. From a netball point of view, my mum was my biggest influence. She started a netball club for the other mums while I was at primary school. I used to love sitting on the sidelines and watching. She will be on the sidelines watching at the Copper Box Arena on Saturday afternoon, albeit in a rather more influential role. Her journey towards becoming head coach began when she was offered a place on UK Sports Elite coaching program, hence the decision to retire from playing aged 26, by which time she had already coached England's under-17 and under-19 team. Within a year, she was the assistant coach at Team Bath, becoming head coach 2 years later, leading the side to 3 Super League titles from 2009 to 13. Her coaching influences come from far and wide. She was on the UK sport course with Danny Carey, who led England's women to hockey gold at the 2016 Olympics. She consults with Gareth Southgate, and she is a long-time admirer of Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm a bit of a geek for all things to do with teams, she said. It's one of my New Year's resolutions to get to meet Sir Alex. In the opening game of the home series against Jamaica last month, Thirlby found herself with a significant decision to make. The established first-choice shooting partnership of Housby and Jo Harten, both recently returned to the team due to playing commitments in Australia, were badly misfiring and change was needed. Housby was hauled off in the second quarter, and her less experienced replacement, Eleanor Cardwell, came up trumps as the Roses recovered to win. I could have made that change on another day, and it wouldn't have worked out, but I'm always trying to catch something before it becomes a big issue, she said. Eleanor linked well with Jo, and it worked, but it made Helen hungry, and that's what you want as a coach. She's here now, and desperate to get back on the court. The key decisions courtside are made in concert with a carefully assembled coaching team around her, including Sonia Coloma, her assistant, and Liana Leota, the former New Zealand player. Married to Rob, a former England Sevens rugby player, she also has sounding boards at home, in particular her children, Olivia, 10, and George, 7. They tell me who's playing well. They tell me who they want me to pick, she said. It makes for some interesting conversations around the dinner table. But they weren't able to watch us in my first year in the job, so now it's lovely to sing the anthem knowing they're in the crowd. Quad series fixtures Saturday England v South Africa, 2 p.m. New Zealand vs Australia 4:15 p.m. Sunday Australia v South Africa, 2 p.m. England v New Zealand 4:15 p.m. Tuesday South Africa vs New Zealand 5:30 p.m. England v Australia 7:30 p.m. Wednesday 3rd vs 4th 5:30 p.m. Final 7:30 p.m.